blooper reel next year. Okay, so we're going to open it up to fan questions. Who's got the first question, since I can't see? While we're waiting, Buffy.
I was interested to find out if you're going to show us how they got the dragon into the cavern for the 20 years.
He's the size of a jetliner, and we delicately glossed over that one. I think when we created the dragon, we wanted him to look impressive and big, and we spent the next 2 series trying to cope with that.
There's a secret entrance.
In the legend of Merlin, he's born old and youthens. How have you, obviously you're not presenting it in that manner. Or
Do what? Sorry, just the last bit.
I was asked how, that obviously you're not presenting it in that manner. Have you made any real, not even sure how to say it, in way of covering that up, basically? I mean, it's not even mentioned, but it's in the literature, it's mentioned many times.
Oh, the literature. I think that, you know, when we started looking at Merlin and wanting to create a TV series out of it, we pulled on all of the stories. I mean, there's so many different theories and legends of Merlin. I mean, the Scottish say he's Scottish, the Welsh say he's Welsh, the Cornish say he's Cornish, the French say he's French. So there are lots of different schools of Merlin thought. And so we looked at all of them, we pull all the best bits out, and the bits we don't want to deal with, we don't deal with them. So we take complete creative license and make our own rules up.
Well, by the way, guys, when you're asking questions, hang out, because the best 3 questions are getting prizes.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. There is a prize.
And you're all voting. And next up.
This is for Colin and Anthony. I wanted to know, you guys do an awful lot of running, jumping, stabbing sort of things. What's your favorite stunt that you've done thus far?
I really like the stuff where you're on wires, where they kind of harness you up, and the kind of wire goes up above your head, and some massive muscly guy yanks it, and you kind of go about 6 foot into the air and about 30 foot back into a foam wall, and look like you really hurt yourself. But you get up going, can I do it again?
And obviously at that point, Julian and I say no, because we're sort of having kittens behind the camera.
Yeah.
Damage Colin.
I'm actually doing that stunt this Tuesday when I arrive back for the jet lag, so that'll let me get over it.
That's actually not the filming, it just does it now as a hobby.
I mean, Uther doesn't do an awful lot of stunts. I guess two things in answer to that. One, that we get to ride the most beautiful horses in the world. They are stunning, stunning horses. And they are not, you know, they're not your sort of, your little, you know, hacks that like to go out for a trot. They have their own minds, and they are feisty beasts, which is great. Which means, you know, you don't feel like you just sat on top of it. I think that also gives Johnny and Julian kittens, especially when we're doing it on cobblestones without a hat on. But also, it wasn't really a stunt, but I loved the fight, the sword fight that I had with Arthur in episode 8 of season 2 was pretty cool. I enjoyed that. Thank you. He beat me.
I have questions for Anthony. First, I just want to say you're my favorite actors of all time. I love you on Buffy and Doctor Who.
Thank you.
I was wondering, what was your most emotionally challenging scene to film on the show?
They're beginning to come thick and fast, as I say, as my past indiscretions are sort of catching me up. I am emotionally overwhelmed by a lot of it. There's some stuff that goes on in episode 1 of season 3, which I found quite challenging, because it was him at his most vulnerable and rawest. And I guess I have yet to see it, to see if it works. But we'll see. But yes, it was quite. I was quite quite exposed at times. And there was one thing. In fact, we went back for a reshoot because they sort of looking at the cut. They needed a close shot of something which was covered in sort of wide shot. And we did it really late at night. We did it second unit, and I screamed and screamed and screamed, and I ended up being absolutely hoarse for the next week. But there you go. It's the pluses and negatives, and it's all in the game of it. It's fine. I mean, we get the best job in the world. The best job in the world. I love it. Really.
Hello? Sorry, I'm losing my voice. My question is for Colin.
You've been shouting for a long time in an emotional sense.
Yeah. How did the whole "you're the voice" thing get started?
Okay. Did anyone seen the film Hot Rod? Yeah. I was telling Bradley about it. I thought it was hilarious, and I was just talking about that moment in Hot Rod where that song "You're the Voice" comes up, and I was going, "What's that song?" You know, and he was going, "Yeah, I know that song." And it kicked off, and for literally the whole morning he started singing it, and then the whole crew were singing it, and then and then it sort of escalated, didn't it? So, but yeah, that's the origins of "You're the Voice."
Bradley never sings also.
Never.
He's very shy and retiring. If only that were true.
Hi.